Today we're speaking to Josh on the pod. He's built an £80,000 a month business selling vehicle leases. He spends around £400 to get a customer, and that's causing some frustrations. I've got some ideas of how he could use that £400 to a better profitability. Now, if you've just started your business or you're looking for ways to scale, then there's one tool worth checking out, especially when it comes with a £200 bonus up for grabs. I'll tell you more in just a moment. Let's do it. Welcome back to the Business Broadcast. JB, who have we got on the show today?
Well, today on the show, we have got a very interesting business. We've got Josh Mills from Motorlet. Motorlet have been trading for about 10 years. They are doing 80 grand a month. They've got 8 team members. But he's got some challenges, old Josh. He's saying that he's been a bit stagnant for like 5-ish years. They had a lot of like big growth at the start, and then it's just sort of like flatlined, leveled off, so to speak. And he wants a bit of advice on taking things.
I think that happens often. I think that happens often in businesses. It's, you know, when you start a business, you're a sales and marketing manager, because if you're not, you don't get any customers.
Yeah.
We all do that. And then we coast into operations, and really the smart ones stay in the sales and marketing chair. And people find that very difficult to do. I don't know why, but all the and I know you all know the same. We both know lots of entrepreneurs, the ones that are sitting in the I generate cash flow seat and that's all I do, always are more successful.
Is that then a case of simply finding the right operators? You always talk about E plus M equals S, entrepreneurship plus management equals success. So
I'll tell you why
people, go on.
No, I'll tell you why people do it is because it is a element of delayed gratification. I've got to sacrifice some of my, because he's obviously, you know, placing deals, and he's probably a fee maker in that business. You know, he's generating cash or doing stuff that's operational. So he's then got to maybe pay someone 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, £100,000 to do the MD manager role, which might mean he doesn't get paid for 4, 5, 6 months.
Yeah.
Whilst he goes in and generates more cash flow. And I think that is the doom loop that many entrepreneurs face.
As you're buying lots of stuff at the moment and they're already existing and they've got management in place, that delayed gratification cycle of you not having to pay yourself back obviously might be a bit longer because you've just had to buy the business and the business is going to take a bit of time to recoup. But are you looking at those businesses that have already got that really good level of established management who can carry on doing what they're doing very well, and then you guys with your like senior management of like the James Sinclair inner sanctum to take it to the next level? Is that how you're looking at them?
Well, 3 points here. Point number 1 is when I buy a business, I don't need to take any money out of it or if we start.
For how long?
Well, forever now, because I'm covered. So I'm not buying things now to go, this is going to improve the lifestyle of James Sinclair.
Fine.
Or the James Sinclair family or the James Sinclair personal bank account. I'm really doing it now.
What about for the business though?
Well, I'm doing it now because...
Addiction.
Partly that, and because I think, well, this would fit in nicely. It would fold into the existing ecosystem. Point number 2 is I only buy bigger things now. So I'm not going to go buying small stuff unless it's, you know, there is a few exceptions to the rule. If I wanted to buy a £500,000 customer because they've got a list of database or customers that I could neatly fold in, and it's so easy. But as a rule of thumb, we want $1 million+ revenue businesses, and really $3 million+ revenue businesses, because when that happens, they've got existing management in place. They've got history in place. We want to find that thing which I keep talking about called the Lindy effect, where if it's happened for 30 years before, there's a good chance that it will happen going forward. And I urge you to go and Google that. And the third point, I can't remember.
But the first 2 were so good, you don't need a third.
No.
So that's absolutely fine.
But what's happening here is, you know, that old adage that making your second 10 million or your second 1 million is much easier.
I found the second 10 mil so much easier than the first. Yeah. I really did. It was a walk in the park, if I'm honest. I can't work out why I took so long to do the first 10. But Chuds, were you the same with your second 10?
Yeah.
It was absolute breeze. You're right.
But it's like anything in life. I think, you know, if he'd have had lots of business, he's only 31, this chap, by the way.
Yes.
If he'd have had 3 businesses before, he would know the playbook, employer manager, this team, this, accelerate. Yes, you've got a year of delayed gratification where I'm not paying myself, but then the reward will be so much more. Running your 10th marathon, I found much easier than my first 9.
So you mentioned, say, interesting there. So now the businesses obviously don't need to pay you ever. You personally doesn't need to add into what you call your PBA, your personal bank account. But when does it need to bring cash flow into the existing empire from year one? But
also, we're looking now, what happens with us as human beings? I think, we're hunter-gatherers, certainly entrepreneurs, and then we want to protect what we hunt. So, we want a freezer to put the meat for winter times. And that analogy, loose as it is, I do start thinking about my businesses. I'm thinking, well, rather than pay my cash flow out to another supplier, another person, I'll buy a business that does that to keep the cash flow ecosystem and to protect the business and provide opportunities for the people that work for me.
So sometimes you can be buying a business to not necessarily to make more revenue externally, it's to keep the revenue internally.
Well, no. We definitely want revenue externally, but the idea is to be in-house as much as possible. We want as much vertical integration as we possibly can get our hands on. I've actually agreed terms last week to buy a company that makes food paper manufacturing. Now, do you remember we spoke about this probably a year ago?
We did on the podcast, yeah.
We had someone on. It's a slightly different type of food. People that can make ice cream pots.
Oh, okay.
So I've agreed to buy them. I went to see them last week, about 4 hours away. So that rather than a couple of $100,000 go out on ice cream packaging, coffee cups and whatever, that few $100,000 of cash flow now sticks around the ecosystem.
And in vertical integration world there, do they also have customers that you can then
I mean, there'll be
shop the Cafe Deli services to?
Absolutely.
And Rossi
See,
services to?
You know the playbook.
I know the playbook. Yeah, okay, I get it. Right. Interesting. How many things you bought this week?
It's been a busy week.
Has been a busy week.
Spree, yeah.
He phoned me yesterday. And he said, and I said, you just bought that thing. He went, how did you know about that? I went, Aaron posted it on LinkedIn. Aaron, who's your group MD, and you went, did he? And I went, yeah, the food company down in Kent. Oh, sorry, I thought you meant the other. I'm looking at 3 other things at the moment. I thought one of the cat had got out of the bag, and I was like, what?
Yeah, I mean, this is how quick I'm. Yeah, so we bought Cafe Deli Wholesale, solved all of our food distribution problems. We bought another one in Kent. That's within 10 months of buying that one, and I've agreed terms on another one in East Anglia. So
you trying to dot them?
Absolutely right, baby.
So you've got like South London and the South sort of Portsmouth, Southampton bit covered, and then there and there.
It's a good thing as well. Yeah, so building your own network. Look, if anyone has understood anything about selling products, whether you're selling food, screws, wood, and it's all about distribution. If you have distribution, you have an absolute, rare and protective form of leverage. Just ask Jeff Bezos. That's really what Amazon is. So they're a distribution company that does retail.
You becoming Essex's Bezos? Is that what you're telling us?
No, but there is a little point here because Chuds was with me. Chuds has been sort of behind the curtain, meeting entrepreneurs and having conversations and seeing entrepreneurs that really only successful entrepreneurs or mover shaker entrepreneurs have. So I went and saw this particular business to buy. And I just love this. This is classic Chuds. The guy that we bought the business off, he walked out of the room and then Chuds went, you entrepreneurs are so weird. To bring him in. I thought this was a really, because I like mentioning this because I sit with an entrepreneur and I don't even see it as weird because they're obviously on my wavelength.
Yeah.
But Chuds, you did notice this, didn't you?
You can appreciate that they do behave differently to other people, though.
Yeah, what do you think they are? It's interesting.
Everyone's different, but they say certain things and act in certain ways that just mean they're very comfortable in who they are. Sometimes they don't beat around the bush, and the way he just introduced himself and sat us down and the way he offered us a coffee was just not the most, well, I don't know how to, because it wasn't weird. Maybe that's harsh, but it's very different. You guys are just like,
it's coffee delivered by somebody on the spectrum of some sort of a spectrum.
Some kind of spectrum that exists.
Yeah.
they're just very
Cut to it. No.
Straight away, I think you just notice, okay, this is why this person has got what they've got.
Right. Yeah.
Because they're not.
Yeah.
They're not like everyone else.
It's intangible though, isn't it? Sometimes
it is.
You go, what? You could tell by someone like you. He would walk in a room. You're like, he's got a bit about him. You wouldn't know why.
Yeah.
But you just sort of know it.
You've said it before, but it's just a few little
if you could think
isms.
of a film character, we call them isms, but if you could think of a film character that everyone would know, is there a film character that you can think of that describes these type of entrepreneurs? That just, I'm trying to think
it's someone that kind of cuts through the, it's not even like they're being rude either. Like he wasn't rude, but this person wasn't making small talk or anything. It was just straight to the point, and it just felt odd.
It's a bit like, who's the doctor in Back to the Future? What's the doctor?
Kind of, yeah. That'd be one of them, yeah.
Or the guy out of Dodgeball, who's just so confident. Adam Sandler's character in Dodgeball. Ben Stiller's character in Dodgeball.
Yeah, just very. It was just so obvious because
we should ask, if you're watching on YouTube or on Spotify, give us a film character that you think
that personifies it. Yeah.
But they're not playing an entrepreneur.
Even the people that listen to this though, that are business owners and entrepreneurs, I hate to say it, but they will also be a bit weird because they're listening to this stuff. So you guys that are listening to us now, you will be
a bit weird,
slightly odd because, like, why are you doing what you're doing and everyone else is doing what they're doing?
That is true.
There's a big personality difference, isn't there?
Yeah.
So Chance was watching me. So in this interview, most people, when they go and buy a business, I'm sure they over obsess on the numbers first of all. Now, I knew this business roughly. I knew the turnover, the profitability. So the first thing I'm looking at is management and team, because when I buy the company, I want to make sure there's a team to, keep the clock ticking. And this is one of my favorite stories. Describe this particular fellow who I just fell in love with. I said, so who works in that team? And he went, we've got Andreas, Sarah, Oi, Patrick, and Tom. And I went, so who was the third one? He went, Oi. I went, Oi, how do you spell that? Like, as if I understand. He went, O-I? Explanation mark. I went, like, Oi as in Oi. He went, yeah. He said, I couldn't remember their name. And one day, 20 years ago, I just went, Oi. And now I just call them Oi.
20 years of calling someone Oi.
Oi.
That sums up entrepreneurs, doesn't it?
But they're all right with it. They love him. He looks after them all. It's Oi, come here. But see, that is so un-PC, and most super successful businesses would just not have that. They wouldn't have. That would be a HR problem. He keeps calling me Oi. He can't be called Oi.
But it's different. But that's the difference between entrepreneurs and like corporate people, isn't it? Because I've got a mate who's very successful, but he's in the corporate world, and he worked at Canon at one point, and they would have on their desks, they would have coloured cards, and it was based on this like socio-demographic profile thing of what kind of person. So you knew like Chuds might be an orange. So like he would have to manage him. He'd be like, oh, how was your weekend? Everything all right? How's the house move? And someone else would be like a red, and they just get into the facts and figures. They'd have these on people's desks. I was like, can you imagine working? But it all works. You're like, Canon's a very successful company, but this other person as well. There's no right or wrong way to do it. I guess it's just different ways for different people. I guess also that goes on to one of the jobs of an entrepreneur is to find those people who will fit into that culture, who don't mind getting called Oi.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
because otherwise they're just not always a cultural fit, are
they?
But
he does it in such a way, doesn't he, Chad? It's affectionate.
It will be, it will attract or repel people, won't it?
Yeah,
as soon as you sit down with them, you either go, nope, not for me, or straight away, like, actually, this guy's really fun. Yeah. So it depends.
Really interesting. I asked him why he was selling up. I mean, 65, but he's got family that could take the business on. And it's a very good profitable business. It's got a huge balance sheet, so cash in the bank. And I said, why are you selling it? Why do you not? Because he's got energy about him still. I can't. I mean, I think he's a similar age to my friend James Martin, who's been on the show. James Martin finishes in a box. There's no two ways about it.
Yeah.
He is not ever going to
stop. Not for a long time, though, with his new health routines.
No, he's never going to stop. But this guy, he is really interesting. I do sort of relate to it. I said, why do you want to stop? What do you want to say? He said, I just don't want the thought of money, cash flow, and this guy's got many millions in the bank. Where I don't want to have to keep an eye on gross margins. He just wants the noise leaving his brain. Now, the reality is,
that, can't you?
The reality is he probably can only do with that for 3 or 4 months. That'd be very good medicine for entrepreneurs if they could have that pain taken away for 3 or 4 months. Yeah, just not to have responsibility. The problem is, what I always say is, if you're responsible, the world gives you more responsibility. It just does. I don't know why it is. If you achieve things, you get through things. So someone's looking over and going, oh, he dealt with that challenge. Have this one.
I see you sold your business. Well done. Congratulations. Want to be a board director?
Yeah. It's just the world,
Yeah.
It is very strange. So we've gone through Josh's challenges. Should we bring him on the show, or shall we do interesting facts or quote of the week?
Interesting facts or quote of the week, shouldn't we? Oh, that was a low knock, wasn't it?
Interesting quote or fact.
Interesting
quote or fact.
Interesting
quote or fact. It's time for the interesting quote or fact of the week.
I am now getting sent so many interesting quote or facts, normally with some slagging me off, going, yours are so terrible, here's some help. I think I've had the best one ever, and I had to reread this one about 1 million times. I was like, what has even been said here? So shout out to Hayden Turner. Oh, it's not his full name. I've forgotten his full name. Hayden Turner, you know who you are. And he said, here's my interesting fact or quote. What I find interesting is that the jingle says it's interesting quote or fact. But whenever you or James Sinclair reference it on the pod, it's always interesting fact or quote. You've never said it the other way around. So the jingle,
interesting quote or fact.
Interesting quote or fact. We always call it interesting fact or quote of the week. And I was like, the level of attention to detail here is absolutely insane. So there you go. Our interesting fact or quote is the jingle.
Interesting quote or fact.
Says that, and we've never once referenced it as the same thing.
Interesting quote or fact.
Interesting quote or fact of the week. Interesting fact or quote of the week.
Sounds better fact.
It does, doesn't it? I'll have to re-record it. Thanks, Hayden.
No.
I love the attention to detail. I thought that's very telling of the fan base of this podcast.
There we go.
Who's got that attention to detail? What you got? A fact or a quote?
Oh, I'm going fact.
Oh, go on then.
That's actually better than yours.
Fine.
In 1994, what global business started? Place your bets.
Oh, 1994.
How big are they? Can you give us a clue?
They're pretty big. So it's one of the biggest.
1994.
It's one of the biggest in the world.
1994 is now 19 years ago. Oh, Amazon.
Correct.
Correct.
It is Amazon.
Oh.
Now,
that was a rubbish game.
Now,
wasn't it?
it was a year of great brands starting, because the Friends started in 1994, the American TV show. Yeah.
Did it really?
Which has become on to be
still so popular, isn't it? Like
so
the Friends
popular.
experience and stuff.
My girlfriend Taylor Swift, that's her favourite TV show.
Tay, is it?
But all at the same time in the cinema, when cinema was a powerhouse of industry.
Oh, I bet it's Jurassic Park.
Jurassic Park is good. Have another guess, Chad. Some of the best films of all time.
1994.
Yeah.
Oh, so I was going to say Star Wars of some kind.
No.
Titanic.
No.
The Mask,
Best
which featured Jim
films of
Carrey.
all time.
Underrated.
I think that some of the best films of all time.
Go on.
Come on, Chad. You got to get one of them. What do you think is an amazing film?
I can think of loads, but I don't think.
Come on, just give us one. Come on, I bet it's here.
Back to the Future would have been earlier than that, wouldn't it?
Come on, Chads.
Land Before
Think,
Time.
what's a really good story as well?
Toy Story.
Shawshank Redemption.
Shawshank Redemption, another point to Chads. So at the same
Shut
time,
everybody.
I'll give you the rest. At the same time, you got Jurassic Park, Shawshank Redemption, which is...
Hang on a second. I said Jurassic Park and I got nothing. You've been very frosty with me today. I got
all right,
nothing.
Yeah, well done, yeah.
And
but also at the same time, Forrest Gump.
Oh, what a film.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I just kept running. I
Also-
don't feel like running no more.
Also at the same time, Pulp Fiction.
No way.
No way.
Yep. And then what other massive technology thing came out in 1994?
Microsoft PC or something?
No,
The
the
Nokia
PlayStation.
5210.
The PlayStation.
PlayStation.
Launched in 1994.
Do you remember that? The first time you turned it on, it went, doo-doo-doo. I had that weird noise. It was like, oh, the future's here.
Now, also 2007, another massive year for technology releases. What was it?
The iPhone?
It was the iPhone. Also, the year that I opened Party Man World, which was my first big business.
Was it?
They haven't done as well as Apple. Party Man World.
Still, you're on their coattails, aren't you?
It's not an iPhone level.
You're on their coattails.
But I thought that was really interesting because, cinema is definitely in decline. It is.
Yes.
I think we might be on the end of the pendulum. And it might
Ooh,
go
here
back.
we go.
So I think the same with live events. I just think most people are sick of screens and staying at home.
Yeah.
A little bit more than they were 3 years ago. Hopefully it's swinging back the other way.
Look at Oasis. That has done more for live music, and I cannot go a day without seeing somebody with like one of those hats on and at an Oasis.
That stuff has done well, but Taylor Swift does well, Beyonce does well at live events. What isn't doing well is nightclubs and those small nightclubs just cannot make money.
No,
really sad.
But the culture has changed, though, isn't it? I don't think like younger people. I know we've had this conversation on the podcast.
But I think they are going to live on extreme. So Oasis is live extreme, isn't it? Whereas a nightclub is,
But your pal Marky T, he shut down. He did like the last ever gig at a club, didn't he? I watched the video. I found it really, really sad because I used to go to those sorts of clubs.
Yeah. Whereas people, when I was young, there was Glastonbury.
Yeah.
And that really, and the fest there's loads of festivals now, isn't there? Live. Yeah, anyway, there you go. Scaling a business isn't just about more sales. It's more invoices, more admin, more moving parts. And the one thing that can quietly derail your growth plans is cash flow. Revolut Business gives you the tools to stay on top of your finances in real time. You'll get instant notifications for all the incoming and outgoing payments, so you know exactly what's happening with your money. No surprises. Every transaction is automatically categorized, making it easier to track spending and generate reports. And when your accountant or investor asks for the numbers, you can export everything in just a few clicks. It even integrates with tools like Xero, QuickBooks, Slack, and Zapier, so all your financial data stays in sync, even as your business grows fast. If you're ready to scale without the stress, why not sign up to Revolut Business at revolut.com/RB/James. Do that before September the 30th, 2025. Just put some money in your account and you'll receive a £200 welcome bonus. Wowza! Fees and terms and conditions apply. Thanks again to Revolut Business for sponsoring this episode. Right, let's get to the show.
Shall we then get our lovely guest on the pod? Should we talk to Josh more about his business?
Let's do it, baby.
Let's do it. Hey, Josh, how are you?
Good morning. Yeah, I'm good. Thanks. How are you?
We are very well. Thank you, my friend. So, Motorlet Limited, been going 10 years, doing 80 grand a month, 8 staff. Biggest challenge right now, cost per acquisition and renewal. Second biggest challenge, not reducing our price to win business or winning business. We don't want a particular offer, i.e. a competitor has a special offer on and our price is miles away. And the third biggest challenge, understanding how to get to the next stage. Cash flow is tight because we spend all of our cash to get the deals, but the revenue from said deals is not paid until a month after the vehicle delivery. Most vehicles take 3 to 4 months to be delivered. God, that is a bit of a cash flow cycle.
So just can I just understand? So basically, what you buy a fleet of cars and then try and sell them on leases. Is that right?
No, we are a broker. So you'll come to us for a car and we'll have a network of dealers we work with to get that car from.
Yeah.
And we'll set the lease up for you.
Fine.
So if you want a Porsche, let's just say Porsche Macan, we'll go to our Porsche dealer, agree a discount on that Porsche. We've then got a panel of leasing companies we work with that they'll do the lease for you. So we'll set that all up and then get the vehicle delivered to you directly from the Porsche dealer.
But why is there a cash flow lag then? I don't understand.
Because our conversion rate sits at about 13% and we have to buy our leads in. So very little what we get is organic. And so we're paying a lot of money for leads. We then do the deal and then it could be 4 or 5 months before your vehicle's delivered. And it's only a month after that we can invoice the dealer for our commission.
How much does it cost you to buy a customer or buy a lead?
On average, it's £40.
And what do you get as commission?
It varies, but on average, it sits at about £900 revenue per deal.
What? So you only have to cash flow the 40 quid?
Well, the 40 quid over however many leads we're buying. But if we're at 13% commission, it's costing roughly 400 quid to get that deal in just marketing costs.
So the real answer is £400 to get £900.
Yes.
And then out of that 500 of gross profit, you've got to pay offices, staff, and all of that. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And how do you get the customers? What are the leads?
The majority of what we get is from comparison sites. So we'll advertise our deals on those sites, and then we pay for every lead that comes through to us.
And have you tried to do Facebook ads yourself?
Yeah, Facebook ads it used to be really, really good. More recently, over the last couple of years, it's got, we get a lot through that don't convert. They're just not very good leads. And then PPC we tried, but it's just so expensive. Because you're paying per click to actually get the conversion through the website and then convert it into a deal, you end up spending way more money doing PPC than you would just buying the comparison site lead in the first place.
I mean, if this was my business and I'm going to go straight in what I would do, I would be getting really ready for the absolute mass of video shopping, QVCing, whatever it is, like TikTok shop. That is going to be on LinkedIn. That is going to be on Instagram. That is going to be on Facebook. And whoever gets in there first and builds that will win the day. That is absolutely going to happen. I mean, it's like a $500 billion industry in China now. I mean, it is massive in China. People are buying everything on online shopping because it's all good. People, if you've got an entertaining, good deals and you're doing it consistently, I think I really think that's going to be massive.
Okay, so not having an actual tangible asset, a car in the video, but more just talking about what's good at the minute.
You need the car. You got to work a way of doing that. I think people will be selling secondhand cars, new cars on online video shopping. And I think the platforms will be pushing it over just clicking ads and stuff like that. And it'll become very commoditized, but it will take everyone else 2-3 years to work it out. So whoever gets in there first, I think, will have it off.
Okay.
I mean, this TikTok shopping thing is massive. It is a massive industry. But what will happen as it comes to the more established marketplaces and, once Instagram, Facebook, when they see that is where the advertising dollars are going, you just need to, spend hours researching it. I mean, I've got to as well, because I think it is going to become a massive part of the way everything works, because it's proven in China, it's proven in Asia, and it is already proven in the UK to a large degree on TikTok already, and it's going to become more and more finessed. I know someone that's selling women's clothes and they're doing 150 grand a month. We've had someone on the podcast selling dog shampoo as 3 million a year from scratch just on TikTok. This is going to happen. We're already starting to see people selling camper vans and cars and stuff, like doing preview videos to get the sales. But there'll be ways of going, look, we got this brand new deal. This is the new Audi R8. Look at it move. It'd be like Top Gear, and then, like a proper look at its efficiency. You're taking it out for a drive. And then at the end, people saying, look, if you'd like to do this, we've arranged this very special deal here. You get this, and this. And this is much cheaper than the dealer. It'll get delivered to you. I mean, loads of YouTube videos as well, where it's reviews of the car, informing, and then people will buy.
So you'd think then you have someone, it could be me, it could be somebody else, to actually go out and visit the dealers that we work with and just do that type of video for every single type of car.
Be making 10 hours of video a day.
Yeah.
And someone's going to do it, by the way, whether it's you, Josh. There'll be 3. It is impossible for it not to happen. When I bought my camper van, I bought my Trekker, I went on to all of YouTube and just looked at all the reviews. And then the ones
was that the first place that you looked?
Well, James Martin and my boyfriend got one as well. So it was his sort of saying, look, this is really good.
But once you saw that, you're like, oh, that's the brand. Your next step was YouTube.
Then to go and check the videos out. But I really think, and there's the boats market doing this. If you wanted to buy a speedboat, people are researching on that. I would have the Motorlet YouTube channel doing reviews of cars. And then at the end, look, this is the best possible deal you can get from it. So I would have because people are going to research. They're going to watch. I know in the magic world, I was a magician, all of the tricks would get bought and then reviewed by magicians on YouTube. And then magicians would go and buy it on the back of those reviews. Really, it's word of mouth on steroids. But if I would have a very heavy content first strategy, because if you're prepared to spend £400 to get a customer, you can absolutely spend £400 a day on 2 videographers and an editor or one-on-one, and you just pump out content. You will not get rewards for probably 120 days. But after that, I think you'll be like, this is the best thing ever. You will pull rather than push. And at the moment, you are pushing for business by paying £400 to get a customer. I think that, and by the way, I'm doing this in my world. People come to my seminars, people come on this podcast, people ask me to go and speak on stages because I make content. Now, when I started out, I was pushing, let me speak on your stage, let me speak at your event. Why not come to my event? As soon as I started making a big catalogue of content, the pendulum slips to the other way.
Yeah. I've noticed that throughout your podcast, you do mention that since doing this, the opportunities come to you. So in that example then, with a videographer, an editor, that's not going to be an agency, that's going to be, I need to go and recruit them.
Now, my view is you use agencies to critique you and make you better, but you should be doing the work in-house. If you don't do it in-house, you're not doing it enough, because what happens is if you have a tough month, you'll cut the agency off. I've got to meet payroll, or, this is not working straight away, I'll just get rid of it. If you employ someone, you've got pressure to make sure they're paid, and therefore you keep it going.
Yeah.
And that's just my view of but there are agencies that are flying out to America, going to all the big conferences, that know these 1% improvements, that they know the best software because they're looking at lots of different things, and they could be, I think, watchdogging your in-house team. And that's what, if anyone's got a marketing agency, I think that's what, listen, editing a podcast, editing a video is going to get simpler and simpler with AI. It just is, isn't it, JB?
It is. Take my lunch. No, it's really difficult.
No, but the expertise, it's not like law. Let me give you another example. Legal contracts, AI is going to do lots of that work going forward. But the specialist lawyers that know how to put a deal together, that can give you the nuances that make all of those little differences. And I think these specialist marketing agencies that go, we really understand Shopify. We can make your Shopify site work more. You do all the work in-house, and we will coach your in-house team to be 20% better. We'll be the watchdog, the big brother on them. Same with podcasting, same with, YouTube and stuff like that. Even Chuds and I, we make lots of stuff, but every now and then we will sit with a consultant that might know 10 or 12 things more than us, and that might just go, oh, have you tried this? Have you tried that? And I think that's very powerful. And that's why doing it in-house, and then getting them to be the overlaying expertise, I think is very important.
Because we have done a fair bit of video, certainly recently, but it's all been based on explaining. So educating on different types of contracts, how you might run a car for your business first, doing it personally, how salary sacrifice works, stuff like that.
That's good. I think all of that's good.
As well as.
Yeah, so I mean, there's different types of video. We used to do this at our, there's explainer videos. That's what you're doing there. I think explainer videos are really good, but that might not get you a customer.
Okay.
Because what do people go, I want to buy a Tesla model. Well, I want to buy a Range Rover model. I want to buy a Ford pickup truck. Right, I'm going to go and research it. I've seen them. They look good. What's the mileage on them? What's the pros, the cons, the good, the bad, the ugly? And that's what I do. And if it could be made by a very good presenter, I think if you had a Jeremy Clarkson, a James May, a Richard Hammond making content about cars, that is the person that's going to win on this game.
I guess, I mean, our direct competitor doing that would be someone like CarWow, Auto Trader. They're the guys that are doing that currently. Because, like, for example,
making proper content and then selling the cars off of the content.
Yeah,
obviously, that's what you need to do.
Yeah. Okay.
And is it working for them? Are they getting good views and stuff on it?
I mean, if you think of CarWow, millions and millions of subscribers, and they are a comparison site essentially. Where we advertise, in
it's
fact,
the famous YouTube guy, isn't it, who presents their stuff? I'm just looking at it now.
Oh, I mean, I didn't know. I mean, that basically that playbook is exactly what I'm saying.
Yeah,
but that's a very. I mean, I'm sure Chuds might know if YouTube started an online shopping thing like TikTok Shop, videos.
Not directly. It links out to different sites. You can do that, but
YouTube must be thinking about this, mustn't they? It must be.
I don't know. You're scaring me because it sounds like you're going to ruin the platform.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't think they'll do that. No.
Yeah. What do you think, JB?
I think they might. I think
why haven't they already?
Why did they take so long to get into shorts?
I mean, we could talk about YouTube without them being here, but I think they would prioritize the quality of their video content. I don't think they would saturate it with other stuff.
Well, they might start a YouTube shop as like YouTube Kids.
Potentially, yeah. And like they've done YouTube. They've got YouTube Music, but it's a separate app kind of thing. Yeah. Maybe, who knows?
I think the other thing with the content side of things to be looking at, yes, definitely be making your own stuff, but also on the YouTube thing, because when you said it, Jim, it made me think about it. Could you, if you can spend 400 quid to get a lead, is there a case where it's worth looking at, so the big YouTube channels and doing baked in ads in the videos with them and do sponsorship deals? Yeah. That would be good. If there are any big motoring podcasts, because again, there's what you call the CPM rate for a podcast, it could be much lower than what you're paying in PPC on Google. That'd be worth having a look at. And even just the pre-roll adverts on YouTube. I know you said that PPC is super expensive, but could you put your advert as pre-roll in ahead of, like you could get ahead of CarWow's videos, like every single CarWow video, you could put your advert in ahead of it on pre and mid rolls. That would be well worth having a look at. And then also I was just having a look at your Instagram page so I can see the explainer stuff. Some of it does okay. Some of it does better than the other. But then when you bounce out that Motorlet start page, which is going to, I don't know, it's like Substack or something, isn't it? Or is but anyway, whatever it's built on, that landing page could be doing a lot more for you.
There's two things there, JB. I mean, what the explainer videos are a little bit like asking for sex on the first day. Look, this is how you save money. This can go buy from us. Whereas when you make content, there's two things I just want to get out and make this in. But when you see a Facebook ad, you see Google PPC, you are getting seconds of someone's time.
Yeah.
If someone then commits to watching a half-hour podcast, a 10-minute YouTube video, there's a relationship starting to be formed. Therefore, they're predetermined to buy from you. And that's what we want. That's what we want. Predetermination.
Yeah.
And you can absolutely have it. I mean, that's the most beautiful thing about content. You get predetermination. It is wonderful.
So in that scenario then, so would you potentially look at the cars that we know we're good at, or we have good supply of, and then just focus on those initially, rather than just reviewing the hottest car in the market? We would
I might be doing it all.
Okay.
I would be making non-stop content. I would make non-stop content. This is my business. I'll be going, we are a video first business that sells cars. But there might not be. I mean, the other thing is, as JB was talking there about pre-rolls, mid-rolls, and I'm thinking, if we're prepared to spend 400 squidaroonies to get customer, because we've got a formula that shows that works, I would definitely be doing some direct mail as well. Like sending letters in the post. You can send a really good, you can have a catalogue printed en masse. I've just done it. So you can have a 64-page A4 fully printed catalogue. If you buy 25,000 of them, that costs you 44 pence, yeah?
Wow,
Yeah, like a proper catalogue. We're doing it for Cafe Deli. A proper catalogue. You get a mini web print. So there's digital printing, LiFo printing, mini web, which is what magazines effectively are made of. And you can get them and even go up to even more. It'll be even less than 44 pence. It doesn't cost 44p to print the Daily Mail or the magazines in the Daily Mail. The more you go, the cheaper it gets because anyway, that's boring. But what I'm trying to say is for a £1.50, you could probably get a massive magazine put in the post. And I would create the Motorlet magazine as well, that is reviewing cars that are coming out. You would then get Range Rover to give you a price for an ad in there. You could probably bring in enough ads that becomes cost neutral. Cost neutral. And you'd say to Porsche, look, can we do a review on this car? What do you think of it? Double page spread, full up with loads of detail, and it would be like and loads of good articles in there, not just selling, so that this Motorlet magazine goes to people that are tried, tested and proven, that have bought cars from you before or are interested in cars. It would go to all of the car dealers in the UK as well, so that if someone goes, cool, I want to go and work for them, they're like a really established brand. So look, basically I think, you know, because of what you've told me, that you're prepared to spend £400 to get a paying customer, I think there's lots of other mediums of marketing, and print is still so powerful because less and less people are doing it. I love a catalogue. It really works.
And you put deals in there as well, I guess, because one thing is the pricing of deals changes monthly, month to month.
Yeah, but you would bring out a magazine every month.
Yeah. I've never thought about doing that. It's interesting.
Yeah, direct mail is very, very powerful.
Or don't specifically talk about the price of the deals. Have it as like a scannable QR code in there, or get them to get in contact with you, and it could bounce. That QR code could change and bounce to a different landing page per car.
Yeah, I mean, there's loads of things that you just got to be a content marketeer. If you're selling cars, everyone wants to buy cars.
Also, do you focus a lot on remarketing? Because obviously, if you're doing leases, then your clients effectively are going to come back, or they need a service again every 2 to 3 years, don't they?
They do, yeah. The only trouble with the renewals is, well, there's two. One, when it's comes from a comparison site, they go straight back to the comparison site often.
Do you get their details?
Yeah, we get their details and we contact them when we do it. But the chances are any deal that we come up with and present to them, they're then comparing that with what's on the comparison site. Of course, a comparison site deal is always going to be the cheapest it can be. When we're leasing a car to you, it's the same car that you're going to get from anywhere. Same manufacturer, same leasing company. So when you're on a comparison site and you're running the price down as low as you can just to win the business, it just reduces your margins. So for a renewal, often enough, we're then fighting over peanuts. The other one is that and actually we leased a car to your wife, James, years ago.
Did you?
We did. I can't remember the car off the top of my head, but we did. And
that
what happens
Royce.
is
That's fancy,
the Rolls Royce.
I thought we used to. How did you know it was my wife?
I asked you at I went to one of your business seminars a couple of years ago, and I asked you, and you mentioned that it was. I think it. This is years ago, probably 8-9 years ago.
Well, did you used to work for? Because I used to do it through another leasing company. Did you work for them?
No. It was through Motorlet.
Oh right.
I think we did it through Lee Valley, I believe.
Oh, right, mad. Okay, well,
anyway,
there you go.
But as a good example, what happens with a lot of our renewals is that the deal they went for in the first place was not because they wanted to lease a car, but because the deal was really, really, really good.
Yeah.
And it gets to the end of the lease, and actually, you know what? There's not that many good deals like the one that I had. So actually, I'm probably just going to buy a car that's a few years old and just keep my eye on the market and see how it goes. And that's typically what happens. A lot of people end up doing that.
Look, it's to the level of your ambition, Josh. If this was my business, I'm thinking, how can I be bigger than Carwell? Now, I realise that, or whoever that I want to be, what are they doing? Success leaves clues. How can I do? I'd probably try and buy a second-hand car dealership so that I can start doing leasing second-hand cars and new cars in the same place. And then I would say the reason I'm buying this is because this is my studio to make content. It forces me to do it. And I don't know why. But human beings, when they know you've got physical premises, they trust you more. You know, the people buying on next.co.uk and johnlewis.co.uk because they know they've got physical stores. I would, because you could probably pick one of them up with no money down and then have the car forecourt is the studio.
Okay.
I honestly, content is the answer to all your things, but you won't get results for a number of months, and that's why people And it costs money to make content. It does.
Yeah. But
I'm
I
only
do
saying
think
that
you're
because you're telling me that you're spending £400 to get a customer.
No, we are. Some months it's it's less than that. Some months it's more. But over the last 12 months, it's averaged out on a 13% conversion rate. It's costing us £400 to actually win a customer and get the customer to order a vehicle. But
I'm just looking. Just one more thing, Josh. Your second biggest challenge: not reducing our price to winning business when we don't have a particular offer. Blah blah blah. It's because you're not a brand. You're a commodity.
Yeah.
Because if you had a brand positioning, and that's what we talk about, content marketing is brand marketing, really, not conversion marketing. That's why it takes a lot longer. But like my wife's got a lease car, and if she had a great experience, if that company came back to her just for the sake of the hassle and the ag, and if they went, oh, because you've had this Cupra sport thing, we've got these deals that it's the same level of car, she would probably move straight across because somebody concierge held her hand rather than having to go through the comparison sites. Now, if that was going to be £50 a month more expensive because we've had a white glove experience and they take away the car, they drop the car off, blah, 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 100% we would do that. Definitely do that. I don't think everybody goes back. I don't think everyone is competitive on price. I think the majority will be, but I think there's a way to get ideal clients who will pay you again and again and again.
So, and then the third bit is understanding how to get to the next stage. Cash flow is tight because we spend a lot of cash to get deals, but the revenue from said deals is not paid until a month. Again, like buying a second-hand car company or a big one that's already trading, that's got team that can help you and force you to make content, and it's your studio. That's another way that I have. Buying companies can really help solve a lot of problems.
Yeah. I think the content one is definitely a good idea. There's hundreds of leasing brokers in the UK, and there's not a huge amount that are doing that. There are comparison sites like Carwow that do it, but not actual leasing brokers themselves. The used dealership is one we thought about previously, so maybe I'll just have to reignite that and have a much a bigger look at it, so to speak.
I think when you've got a dealership as well, I think you'll get some of the people wanting to work with you, and it just can't explain.
Changes the dynamic, doesn't it?
It says, this is a premises. It's real.
Yeah, I think one of the
you always talk about that.
That's right. Bricks and clicks.
I think like what you were saying, JB, about spending a bit more per month. So where we're really, really good is the high ticket stuff, where someone's spending over £1,000 a month, because then price isn't a huge factor. It is a factor, but not a big one, not the biggest. And so we can provide a much better, much more concierge service, go way above and beyond, which we don't mind doing. We really enjoy doing that. And actually having a premises where they can come and actually meet us, sit down with us might be a good way to do that.
Yeah, good.
But there's some questions that you also asked, which I think were quite interesting. So, and there's some points we didn't get to. Where do you want to be in 1 year's time? Generated way more organic inquiries, which would hopefully mean less CPA. So again, that goes back to all the stuff we talked about. High conversion, more profit. I like to be geared up in a way that it'd be easy to sell. What does your business look like when it's finished? A go-to place to learn about vehicle leasing and find your next deal, which include a YouTube series about all things leasing guides. You knew it in advance, didn't you, Jimbo? You are the all-seeing oracle. How do you spend your day-to-day time in the business? Other than the questions, yes.
Can I just say, on the content, though, you don't really want to be selling. You want to be entertaining and informing. We don't sit on this podcast and go, JB's got a podcast agency and he can make podcasts for you and do all that.
We should say that. Can you say that down the camera for me, please? Thank you.
The answer is, though, people know, and when they're ready, they come knocking and going, please, can I be served by you? And that's the same with, I don't sit here and go, I want to buy your business, or please, well, sometimes they come to my seminars, but it's done in it's not the primary objective.
Yeah.
And lots of people are making content is primary to sell. And the best sales come when you don't do that.
Okay.
Very true.
So you still get the point across, but in different format, entertaining as opposed to educating.
Well, Jeremy Clarkson.
So political these days.
Jeremy Clarkson, if he reviewed a car really well,
yeah,
they saw a bump in sales. I mean,
And vice versa. People
Yeah.
didn't want to give him the cars because
Yeah.
he could tank it.
Yeah. So if he really liked it, and that's because it was done in an entertaining, informing way. This is my honest opinion, and that's what you need to be like. I really do like this car. Do you know what? The deal isn't very good on this at the moment, and I don't think I would be buying this. But you want a bit of that. You want it to be honest.
Yeah. Okay. Okay.
If we go to your questions, question number one was we've recruited twice for someone in marketing, but it hasn't worked. Do you think an agency would be a better route? We've already covered that one off, haven't we?
Well, you should be the marketeer, baby. You should be the person generating the cash flow. How are you you're not going to get a great marketeer to come work for £1 million revenue business. You want someone out there that's thinking differently. You need to be doing that. You need to get off of operations and be on generating cash flow. Just replace you. Get someone to pick up the phone. Well, what do you do day to day?
God, a bit of everything, really. I think you hit the nail on the head at the start when we've built, and then I'm just I'm in it. I'm just in it, dealing with stuff, signing wages off, dealing with issues.
Get rid of all that stuff so that you can go out there and generate cash flow.
Are you the one who's presenting on the Instagram page?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, but just do more of that then. But like I say, more stuff around the car as well. Like some of the stuff about how to, like salary sacrifice and all that stuff, that's useful, but that probably wants to be 1 in 5. Like the actual logistics behind a lease needs to be 1 in 5. The rest of it needs to be like entertainment.
Yeah, we did do a few videos where it was like, what can £200 a month get me versus 1,000, and that did do better. So okay, maybe just focus more on that than in the educational stuff, which is what we've been doing.
That as well. But also the other thing that you could do, for example, is you could do like a real detail breakdown. If you did a video about like the Audi A7 or whatever, or the e-tron, you could do that, like a sort of 5 to 10 minute summary of it. And then for the full specky, if you really want to geek out on the spec of this car, click the link in the description and you can read the full blog. So you could turn it into a blog as well. And then that could get people onto your email list. So you can move them into your ecosystem from that content by giving them more of a value add. And you could do that sort of stuff quite easily. Once the challenge with this sort of stuff is finding your flow with it. But once you found a way of doing it and you found like a style of presenting it and how it all works, I think you could do really well off the back of it.
Yes, just go out there and be an entertainer, essentially. You've
got to be the Gary V of vehicle leasing. I think people have slept on Gary Vee a little bit in the last couple of years. But I watched one of his videos the other day and I was like, he still knows. Yeah. He still knows. He's a guy in his early 50s who is still as culturally relevant as any cutting edge influencer, and he could flog anything he wanted to because he's got his finger so far on the pulse. You just got to adopt a little bit of that. Question number 2, you said a lot, capital letters, of customers don't renew, mainly because when they get their renewal, they can't go for a deal as good as the one that they had. How would you increase the chance of converting these customers? I think we've touched on that a little bit. Any other takes on that, Jimbo Sinclair?
No, I think, we've covered it.
Is that, that would fall into like experience-based business, your book? Does that talk about renewals?
Yeah, look, I think... not to complicate this too much, I think there's a lot of things that you could do to make this business a lot better because you're already committed to spending £400 to get a customer. And that's what you need to keep on reminding yourself. You're actually using that because that's because you've got a little formula, and this is a dangerous thing in many ways for you. This formula is showing you, I spend 400, I get 900 back, which is making you lazy not to think, well, what else could I be doing with that £400 to get customers? I would say sending 400 letters out with a magazine would actually yield a better result if you've done it consistently. And that's what that's the, I don't want to complicate it any more than that. Renewals, yes, you do all of that stuff. But I think, what could you be doing better with your £400 is the question that ultimately you need to ask yourself.
Yeah. Okay.
Very nice. Well, there we go. I think we have covered all bases. Anything else you'd like to ask, Josh, before we let you head off on your merry way?
I think there is probably more than enough for me to get my teeth stuck into before I ask any more questions about anything else.
Like it. Sounds like it. Where can people, really if they're looking for a lease on a car, where can they come to get the best, the very best deal and the very best concierge service? Absolutely. Just Google Motorlet. It's motorlet.co.uk. MOTORLET. 5 stars on Trustpilot out of 1,198 reviews I have, you know. This guy is not messing about. Good for you. Awesome stuff. Thank you very much for being on the podcast, Josh. We wish you well
No
in your
worries.
entrepreneurial ventures, my man.
No, thank you ever so much for your time. It's been really, really helpful.
Pleasure. Thanks for being on the pod, mate. All the best. Cheers,
All
mate.
the best. Take care. Cheers.
Josh.
Bye.
There you go, Josh, all the way from sunny Hertfordshire and motorlet.co.uk.
I think he's very similar to lots of entrepreneurs and business owners.
What do you mean?
Just about getting by. Things are okay. It's not a disaster. Just keep pushing the £400 to wow.
Ticking over.
Yeah.
He could do some great stuff. He's already like dabbling as well. That's the thing. If you go onto his Instagram, you go onto LinkedIn and stuff, he's having a go.
I think he knows that what we are saying is right. It's just...
Oh, he didn't push back once, did he?
No, it's whether he goes... his back of mind be thinking, well, how do I cash flow all that?
Yeah.
It's the right prescription.
Yeah.
It is the right medicine. How do I cash flow another videographer, where do I...
Goes back to that delayed gratification thing that we talked about earlier on, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's exactly that. Well, there you go. Right. We've got to do this, haven't we? It's time for the 8 Traits of the Greats. Support the show where James Sinclair rates the entrepreneurs out of a total of 8 to find out if they're great or if they're going to have to wait to be great. My mate. Come on then. Rate him, baby.
Okay, let's go. Let's do this. Starting with the end in mind.
Not fully. I think we have to have a 0 for that one.
Passionate about their cause?
Oh, yeah. You mad? He loves a lease.
3, untold amounts of resilience.
We don't know, but that's on us to...
Master relationships with people.
Oh, yeah. I loved him.
Commercial awareness. I think he has got that, just not putting it in the right place. They innovate so they don't evaporate. Didn't really feel that.
No.
Master marketeer, no.
But weirdly, like the website and stuff like that is really good. But no, you can't have that. You're right.
And then they stay too sweet. It's a 4. It's a 4. Let's have the song.
I think that's a harsh 4, I think.
It's a 4. A few tweaks and they can have much more.
That's right. It is the great song. Do you think that's a fair 4? Oh, we've had worse entrepreneurs who've had a 4. No, I think you should have had a 5.
It's 5. It's going to thrive.
But I'm just basing that on the fact that, I don't know. Oh, that is horrible. What? No, don't do it more. What's wrong with you? Right. Brilliant. I hope you've enjoyed up until now. Guys, I know what you're thinking. An hour. That's a lovely time to wrap up a show. No, my friends. It's time for this. It's time for the business quiz. Thanks, Chuds.
It's Jim versus JB on the quiz that's businessy. Business knowledge and it's fun. Which one's clever and which one's dumb? Izzy Wizzy.
Let's get quizzy. Inside this quizzical envelope, we have got a quizzical question based on the sector or the business on which we have just had a conversation. Today's question. Play along if you'd like to join in at home. Here we go. Currently, what is the average number of vehicles on lease on UK roads? Currently, what is the average number of vehicles on lease on UK roads? And that is vans or cars. So what is the number of cars on the road or vans that are leased? Are we looking for a number? So we're looking for a number. So how many vehicles are there on the road? Well, there are 9 million bicycles in Beijing. We know that because of the famous song.
It's really interesting. I was just thinking because there's 70 million people. The kids don't have a car. Yeah, so there's 50 million of people driving, would you say?
No, not that many, I don't reckon.
40 million then?
No, I reckon 25.
No, it's way more than that.
Okay.
People drive. But on top of that, I was just thinking, the Cafe Deli's got 18 vans.
Yeah, there you go, yeah.
And it's got 24 staff that all drive in. So actually, I should be giving this all away.
I'm just going to add a 0 to this and turn it to 25 million.
Because if it's vans as well, companies own a lot of vehicles that then people have their own vehicle at home.
Do you want to know how many people drive in the UK? Just
Please,
it's quite
yes,
interesting.
Chad, sorry.
Because I think it's still going to be difficult for you to get to the final answer.
Come on then, how many people drive in the UK?
42 million people
42.
hold a full UK driving licence. Early 2024.
Okay. So now I'm going to do further.
Some of them own the car, don't they? That's not leased.
They won't all have a car, will they? So I reckon that's going to be... I think it's going to be... That's going to be... Okay, I've got my answer.
I'm including commercial vehicles in I'm going 45 million.
Hang on a second. Let's lock it in.
I'm going 40 million.
You're going 40 million? I'm going 14 million.
Okay.
Can we have some thoughts on each of yours?
Yeah.
Why are you 40 million and you 14 million?
Come on.
Because I was thinking Tesco, Sainsbury's have got all those delivery vehicles. And there's, would you say 42 million drivers? I think most people are leasing.
Do you? My maths was this. 42 million people have got a UK driving licence. I reckon only 30 million of them have a car. Because I think there's a lot of people who don't actually have a car. I then thought it was 47% of people would be leasing rather than owning. I then couldn't work out what that was, so I rounded it up to or down to about 14 million.
No, I've gone too high.
Have you?
Yeah, I'm going to go.
Well, it's too little too late. We only accept first answers after you. Did you not lock it in? I think you locked it in, didn't you?
Yeah, maybe, yeah.
Okay. Oh, I've got the answer, haven't I? Sorry, I'm waiting with bated breath, but I've got all the answers. Here we go.
So what do you think, 25 million?
14.
14.
I've gone 14 million. You've gone 40, 35, 30. Which one are you sticking with there, love?
30.
You go for 30 now, right? Okay. The answer is 1.9 million. No, I'm not having that. No, get Stevie in the office. No. 1.4 million of these are cars. This represents 1.4% year-on-year growth, largely propelled by increased demand for electric vehicles through corporate salary sacrifice programs and business contract hire, BCH arrangements. EV leasing has grown 23% in the past year. So the answer is 1.94 million vehicles.
Wow.
So I was quite a way off. You were quite a long way off, even more. There you go. You can have the wooden spoon. I don't feel like either of us deserve it, though.
No. How many cars are on the road? How many cars are in the UK, Chad? Can we ask that?
Can we get on ChatGPT? Come on, chat. How many cars are in there? Here we go.
33 million cars on the road.
So it's less than 1%.
No. That means
less than 10%.
33 million.
Yeah.
But 42 million people can drive.
Well, oh, yeah.
So 10 million of them are not doing anything.
No, but I was working out what percentage of those are then leasing a car. So that's only leased. That seems very low. I'd have thought I was working on about 40%.
As of 2024, 1.4 million, with the total lease fleet standing at 1.9 vehicles in total. Yeah.
Well, there we go.
Can confirm.
Can confirm. Thank you very much, Chad, who can confirm it.
There we go.
Well, there we go. Right. Well, thank you for watching and listening to today's podcast. Hope you've enjoyed it. If you have got any suggestions maybe for Josh, chuck them in the comments. If you're listening on Spotify or you're listening on YouTube, we love getting the feedback from people who listen to this podcast. And some great conversations happen in the comments on YouTube, especially. I would say to you, James Sinclair, what can you sell people down that barrel of that camera? But I suppose BMC's done now. Your retreat's done. Tell them to join your newsletter or something. You might as well get something out of it.
By the way, guys, we do write a newsletter every single week, or I do, and then we send it out Monday morning at 7 a.m. to help business owners grow their business. Just some golden nuggets to swipe and deploy to grow your business. And if you are watching this by now, probably the next thing we're doing is buying businesses, isn't it? Which is a whole day spent with me. All right, so BMC's. It's going to be great if you are coming. We'd love to see you there. But buying businesses is our next big event. If you'd like to learn.
Whenever he talks about money, he turns Russian.
Yeah.
If you like to learn.
If you want to learn.
You won't say it again, just in case.
If you want to learn how to buy businesses and do it in the most frugal way possible, you'll love buying businesses. All tickets and details are on my website, jamessinclair.net.
How many businesses you got now?
Oh, too many.
Do you actually know?
No, I couldn't tell you anymore. There's so much going on.
Wow, we were.
Thanks for watching, gang, and we'll see you in the next one.
Ta-da.
Thanks for watching today, gang. I hope you enjoyed the show. Now, look, we're looking for some great businesses to come on the podcast. If you've got challenges, but you're desperate to grow your business and you can't necessarily work out how to do it on your own, you'll be a perfect candidate to come here on the podcast. It's absolutely free to come on the show. Go to my website, jamessinclair.net, and there's a podcast button. Click on the podcast button, fill in the application form, and we'll do our very best to get you on the show and try and grow your business.